What's up, y'all? Talon here, and today I'm back with another series of high-level battles featuring top rental teams. Today we have a team created by Leonard Kraft III, goes by DeWobblefed online. He's also one of the main mechanics researchers, as well as being partially responsible for Best of 3 being implemented on Pokemon Showdown, so give him a follow in the description below. I have his Twitter link there. He was also able to get top 8 at the Peoria, Illinois regional with this team, so an incredible finish with a very unconventional team. I really like how Leonard builds teams. Just in general, I think he takes an approach to team building that is kind of aligned with the meta, where there's like some meta relevant Pokemon there that are just fundamentally really strong, and then he has them to accentuate some of the less common pieces, in this case the Dusclops and the Ursaluna-Bloodmoon. Before we get into a breakdown of the team, please subscribe to the channel. I made these Pokemon in-game the day of the regional, just after seeing Leonard get top 8 at the regional, put together the team in-game based on the open team sheet. So if you appreciate the rental code and the Pokepaste in the description, those recreations, please subscribe to the channel. It takes a little bit of effort to do so, but yeah, if you appreciate the resource, please subscribe to the channel, and yeah, let's get into the breakdown. Dusclops and Ursaluna both introduced in the Teal Mask DLC. I didn't think Dusclops was going to be that good, and I think it largely hasn't had a lot of usage, but Leonard, one of the only people to use it, I think maybe the only one in day 2 to have it, so really incredible finish for Dusclops. Of course, in the regional, it was actually pressure just because Frisk is useless, just because an open team sheet, you do know your opponent's items anyway, but because we're likely to be, or at least you guys are likely to be using this on ladder for the rental team, I do have it as Frisk, just so you can scout out your opponent's items. Of course, it is Eviolite, buffing Dusclops' really impressive defense stats to just astronomical levels, and we have a pretty standard set of Will-O-Wisp, Trick Room, Pig Split that you'll see on almost every Dusclops, but the standout here is the Brick Break. So Brick Break in this case actually isn't for damage or even breaking screens, although that's certainly an added bonus with the prevalence of Aurora Veil for Ninetales and just general light screen and reflect stuff from Grimmsnarl. No, Brick Break is more so to be self-attacking into your Ursaluna. We are Tera normal Ursaluna, so you can actually Tera out of the weakness to the fighting type, which has its weaknesses into things like Urshifu or Iron Hands, but in the case of being able to Brick Break yourself consistently is very, very nice. The damage output after the both the Tera boost and the weakness policy is just insane, especially when you're going for the 140 base power Blood Moon. Hyper Voice is definitely going to be doing like at least 2 at KOing everything, even resist at that point, and knocking out some of the frailer Pokemon in the metagame. And then Earth Power is just very nice coverage in the Iron Hands before they've Tera'd, as well as into the Fire type Ogerpon. Oftentimes they'll try to Fire type and just knock out your Dusclops, but if you have Intimidate on the field, you're able to lessen the likelihood of that happening. I think if they're Adamant, Max Attack, Tera Embody aspect on the Ogerpon with Sunny Day being set up by the partner, if you have not intimidated them, I don't think you can live that, but you can intimidate them, but more likely you just have to lead to counter that combo. Moving on beyond that combination is the Iron Hands and the Ogerpon. Fake Out and Follow Me is just a really robust combination. So basically you can look at Team Preview and either go for Fake Out or Follow Me based on which of your opponent's options to stop Trick Room are. For example, Fake Out might not be so effective against like a Terraghost Chi-Yu, whereas Follow Me would be, as well as against a Covert Cloak Taunt or a Terraghost Taunt. Fake Out not so effective, but Ogerpon Follow Me is a little better. I think generally Fake Out is going to be a little more effective. Ideally your opponent doesn't have one of those Terraghosts or Covert Cloak Pokemon that can taunt your Dusclops, but if they do, if it's Prankster, you can Tera Dark your Dusclops to get around that. Also, just being able to Tera away from your Ghost and Dark type weakness is really nice on that. Iron Hands is Tera Fire, Ogerpon obviously Tera Water, but yeah, Tera Fire and Iron Hands has been a very common Tera to basically no longer be weak to any of these stab moves from the Ogerpon Hearth Flame form. That's just really appreciated. It's an interesting Iron Hand set. No Wild Charge. We're actually opting for Volt Switch and Heavy Slam, so prioritizing if you lead Fake Out plus Dusclops, and you don't feel it's necessary to go for Fake Out turn 1, they can't stop Trick Room. You can go for a slow Volt Switch and get the Ursaluna in and just go for that combo immediately and not waste any turns of Trick Room. Ogerpon's pretty standard. It's a very bulky set just because we don't really need it to be offensive or quick on a team with Trick Room. We have Horn Leech and Ivy Cudgel as the attacking moves, and as mentioned, Follow Me as general utility. Landorus and Chi-Yu really round out the team and let you play out of Trick Room. Iron Hands, Ogerpon, Landorus, Chi-Yu was a combination on a lot of balanced teams that did exceptionally well this regional, so good call from Leonard there to have the Choice Scarf Landorus, which has been really effective in every tournament we've seen in Regulation E, as well as the Chi-Yu running a bulky Choice Spec set with a Tera Ghost to avoid fighting type and normal type moves. Really excited to feature this team for you guys. If you enjoy, once again, please subscribe to the channel and let's get into the battles. Okay, so we're up against a very standard team. Landorus, Kingambit, Iron Hands, Chi-Yu, Fluttermane, and Ogerpon. They definitely have a lot that can threaten Trick Room from going up. If they're Imprisoned Fluttermane, that's pretty bad, but I think on a team like this, it's more likely to be Specs. So I think Fake Out is definitely a little foolish on my part. I don't think that will actually be effective. So I'm going to go Ogerpon with Follow Me and go Ursaluna in the back. Well, maybe not Ursaluna in the back. Iron Hands I think is very necessary against King Gambit. Yeah, I think I'll go with these 4. Just going straight for the Trick Room mode. Maybe Landorus is actually better. Could be. No, I do think the Fake Out pressure could be valuable, but Landorus could be really nice against Iron Hands in specific. No, I think let's just go for the Trick Room 4 and see how it goes for the first battle. Yeah, but the fact I even had the option to go for Landorus and play a kind of a mixed game plan is really a testament to the team. That might have ended up being the smarter decision. It's hard to tell in a closed team sheet environment, but yeah, Fluttermane Iron Hands is the lead. Totally fine with that. Fluttermane is Focus Sash. That's good to know. Okay. Yeah, AV. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna Pain Split the Iron Hands just because I feel like the Imprison is really obvious here. And I can just Will-O-Wisp Ivy Cudgel next turn to knock it out, I guess. But if they go for Shadow Ball, then this was definitely a misplay. Yep, there's the Imprison. The Focus Sash was actually the tell, so Frisk coming in pretty useful for us. They Wild Charge, gonna take a bit of Spiky Shield. And we Pain Split, even though we're both at full HP. Iron Hands is a massive HP stat, so they're gonna take some damage from that. Maybe Will-O-Wisp was a little better though. Yeah, probably so. Definitely one of those situations where I do wish I had the Pain Split into Flutter would have actually been a lot better for me, I think, in that circumstance. I think Ivy Cudgel might knock them out. Yeah, kind of a weird spot. I think Will-O-Wisp is fair here, as well as Horn Leech into Fluttermane. Heal some HP if they try and take me out. I'm just not going to knock them out is the only issue with that. Yeah, Will-O-Wisp would have been a bit better for me there. Yeah, and they Shadow Ball. Unfortunate. It's going to do a lot of damage, but not that much because they're Focus Sash. Yeah. We'll see how much this does. It probably... Yeah, I could have Will-O-Wisped that turn. That's unfortunate. I do have Pain Split next turn if I want it. Okay, doubling it up. Not going to knock out. Unfortunately, they... You know, that might be fine. They're probably going for Dazzling Gleam this turn, which most likely will knock me out, but the damage is kind of done and that Trick Room's not going to go up this game, but I feel like I've disrupted them a fair bit, so I'm not, like, so torn up about that. They might not even have Dazzling Gleam, truthfully. Yeah, I feel good about Pain Split into Iron Hands and Horn Leech into the Fluttermane. I could get cheeky, maybe bring in my own Iron Hands, but at this point, I weaken the main obstacle for... Sorry, just checking if I should go for Ivy Cudgel. Probably not. Lando could come in here. If it does, I do want to nail it. I think I'll Horn Leech, though, because I won't knock out the Lando anyways. It is a Shadow Ball into the Ogerpon. Fair enough. So I will get 1 HP back, but yeah, the damage could matter. But I wonder if Wild Charge is going to knock me out. It might not after the Will-O-Wisp. It's going to be close. Oh, 1 HP. That's really bad for them because they didn't actually go for Dazzling Gleam and knock out my, like, guarantee the knockout there. Now, I should have a pretty free Follow Me plus Trick Room. So that's kind of the annoying part about Dusclops. If you're like disabling or if you're imprisoning like a Farigiraf or a Cresselia, they're not really able to do much while they're on the field, but this Dusclops is just very disruptive. They haven't Tera'd yet, notably. Got to keep that in mind. I do think we can kind of, like, they're probably going to go for Swords Dance, which I want to have covered. So I think what I'll actually go for is Will-O-Wisp into the King Gambit, and honestly I'm thinking about Follow Me, but no, I could probably knock out Iron Hands this turn. I think I'll go for Trick Room, force the Kowtow Cleave, and probably get after the... Like, Iron Hands is kind of just sitting on the field, not doing much. So I think I would like a little bit of damage onto King Gambit in case they go for Swords Dance. It could also just be like Tera Dark, Sucker Punch, which would knock out my... Tera Flying's interesting. Okay. I think I kind of prefer that. I don't know why they went for that. Because I don't have like fire coverage or something like that. That's really interesting. I'm not Horn Leeching, so maybe they thought I was Stomping Tantrum. But it is a Wild Charge into the Ogre Pawn, doing still a fair bit. But the Wild Charge and the Burn is kind of whittling them down. They are going to take the knockout on the Dusclops. I could have gone for Tera Dark, but I think just holding on to... yeah. Life Orb, interesting. Okay. Could be Tera Flying, for sure. I think I just bring in my Iron Hands here. I feel like Ursaluna in the back should beat the Landorus no matter what. So maybe I think I'll go for Fake Out into the King Gambit. And Ivy Cudgel into the Iron Hands. Let me see if they have any priority blocking. No, they don't. They don't have any priority blocking. So I think Horn Leech is a little better than Ivy Cudgel here. They could switch in Lando, which they don't. So Horn Leech definitely better for me, healing a bit of HP. But yeah, Ogre Pawn, bulky water Ogre Pawn definitely was a super popular pick this weekend, and you can see why. Like, it's very good utility, great coverage, and great, yeah, just longevity with the Horn Leech. So Iron Hands finally leaves the field after being on for like maybe 5 turns, but yeah, the Pain Split was enormous. That's definitely advantage Dusclops in any matchup where you're playing the Iron Hands. Ooh, Chi-Yu's last. Okay. That's actually kind of concerning. I think I'm just going to go for... Ooh, that's interesting. I actually don't have a clean knockout. They have Tera'd. I think I'll just go for... Like, they can't knock me out. They could go for Heat Wave. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for Follow Me. Because I'm a slower Ogre Pawn, I definitely can't outspeed the Chi-Yu. If they're Specs, then they have to go for Heat Wave, in which case I really doubt Tera Flying. Oh, they go for Sucker Punch. But yeah, my thought here is I feel like it's very unlikely. Oh, yeah, I'm not really sure why they went for Sucker Punch, truthfully. It would have been a little greedy. I guess you're expecting me to be a faster Ogre Pawn and go for the that attack, but yeah, not the case. I'm definitely just gonna protect my Iron Hands, given that it should wall King Gambit, and unless you're a Focus Sash Chi-Yu, which I think on this team it's typically Specs, then I just like preserve that win condition as long as I can. So I actually didn't even bring the Ursaluna combo this game. The lead was just too effective on its own, and even though we played Imprison Fluttermane, just the bulk and annoyance of the Follow Me Ogre Pawn stuck around for the end of the battle. Alright, cool team for my opponent. They actually have Ninetales and Roaring Moon, along with Fluttermane, Landorus, Iron Hands, and Heatran. So this is where Brick Break on Dusclops comes in very clutch, I think. Unless they're a Tera Ghost or something, I feel like Iron Hands is fairly safe for me for a slow Volt Switch or Fake Out. And just the damage on their team is pretty nice. Definitely going Ursaluna here. I feel like it covers their team quite well. And as my last, let's see. Iron Hands is going to cover the Heatran, not that well. I could see myself going Ogre Pawn again. But Landorus when Trick Room ends could be really, really nice, I think. Chi-Yu would buff my damage output to absurd levels. But I feel like Ogre Pawn might be a little better for me here. No, I think Lando is going to be really nice in the late game if I can get it going, but I think Ogre Pawn might be a little weak to Roaring Moon. I think I'm going to go Chi-Yu, oddly enough. The Fluttermane's a bit of a concern. I feel like Chi-Yu's pretty solid for me though. Because I should beat the Heatran unless they're Tera Fairy 1v1. If I preserve Tera Ghost, then I'll be doing very well against the Iron Hands as well. Ninetales it obviously dumpsters, but hard to figure out that last spring. Roaring Moon plus Flutter Mane is their call. I could go for Tera Dark on the Dusclops. I think that's kind of foolish. Booster Energy plus Choice Specs, okay. So unless they're Tera Ghost on the Roaring Moon, I do feel kind of fine about going for just Fake Out Trick Room. Tera Dark would be cute, but maybe a little too cute. Given I'm not sure that the Hyper Voice would knock out the Flutter Mane without Tera Normal. So yeah, I'm just going to Fake Out, but this definitely would have been a lead where Ogerpon would have been decent. They're going for a Tera. Maybe Tera Fairy on the Flutter would make sense. Yeah, it is going to be the Tera Fairy. Trying to knock out the Iron Hands. Yeah, Tera Ghost would have actually been Tera Ghost Specs. I think Shadow Ball knocks me out because in Bees of Ruin, the Shadow Ball knocks out Dusclops. So yeah, that would be an easy knockout. Roaring Moon protects, but I'm kind of fine with that. I feel like I have that slot locked down with a Pain Split or a Will-O-Wisp next turn. But yeah, they're going to go after the Iron Hand. It shouldn't knock me out, honestly. Okay, yeah, they're going for the Iron Hands, and even if it does knock me out, ooh, that's a lot of damage. I'm pretty bulky. I'm surprised that knocked me out. They must be like max modest. But that's basically a Volt Switch. So now I think we just get after it, right? They gave us the switch in. Thanks for the content, bud. Yeah, now I think we just go for it. Let me confirm the speed tiers, but I do believe Dusclops is... Oops, can't swap that in. Nah, it's slower, I know it. Yeah, now, where's your switch in? Like, Heatran's the best you have. Should I preserve the Tera? Maybe? I'm just not sure that I knock out the Flutter Mane without it, so I'm gonna go for it. I have a very low special defense stat, so I don't think I can actually afford to risk it. Because I think Tera Fairy Moonblast would have a good chance of knocking me out. Alright. There's the scary bear. The scary berry. Yep, there it is. There's a Brick Break. 30 HP, not negligible. It's a fair amount of HP. But the trade-off, I think, is well worth it. Even if they had stayed a Ghost type, Mind's Eye would have knocked them out, and here we go. Ooh, Roaring Moon actually lives, surprisingly. That's interesting. I would have expected Flutter Mane to live of the two, but that must be a very, very bulky Roaring Moon. Knockoff into... Oof. Yeah, but the item's already gone. And now we are locked and loaded. Very nice. We can actually Brick Break the Ments, or the Roaring Moon, and knock it out, which I doubt they'll expect. But no, they go into that, fair enough. They have Tera. I think Earth Power knocks them out. It really... Would it knock them out? I don't know. I think I definitely always protect here. Yeah, I think I protect here. Just because they can't fake me out and I knock out the Roaring Moon unexpectedly. Unless they protect on their own, but I think I'm fine with that. Yep, fake out in the hand into the Dusclops, the Ursaluna. And now we hit him with the Brick Break, knock them out. Yeah. I think Leonard crit a Brick Break into an Arcanine, Hisuian Arcanine switch in on stream, and it did like 40%, so I'm not actually sure that he's running min attack like I am, but okay. Lando plus hands. Alright, I could choke this still, truthfully. I don't really know the role on the Iron Hands, but I feel like it should knock out. Whoops. 2 turns of Trick Room left. Which is stronger, Blood Moon or Earth Power? Earth Power is 180, Blood Moon is 140, not accounting for stab on both, so I think I can soften it up with Pain Split though, right? Yeah, I should be able to soften it up with Pain Split, so I think I'll go for that. I'm not sure, like, this is a situation where I really should know my calc if I'm, like, using the team pretty consistently, but I think after the Pain Split, we should knock them out. Yeah, there could have been a risk. Iron Hands is naturally, I believe, slower than Ursaluna. I'm not sure. I am quiet min speed, but if they're like min speed, maybe they can beat me, but no dice. Would have been good to figure out that calc, but given the Roaring Moon lived, I'm pretty sure a Hyper Voice wouldn't have knocked out. Landorus could live if it was bulky enough, so yeah, just not wanting to risk that. And we'll go for Will-O-Wisp and go for the Blood Moon. Not going to give it to us though, we don't see that cool animation, but you get the picture. Yeah, incredibly devastating duo. Even if you like know it's coming, obviously in open team sheet, Leonard was able to get top 8, so just a very, very solid strategy. Up against another Trick Room team, it looks like. They have Gothorita, I believe, Torkoal, the Cornerstone Ogre Pawn, Armarouge, the Alolan Golem form, and Ursaluna base form. So, I think in a straight up Trick Room mirror, I believe we have the advantage, honestly. I don't see any flip turn. I think Ogre Pawn could use a U-turn, but there's no psychic terrain to speak of. I think Chiyu's really... Tera Ghost Chiyu seems very strong to me here, with support from Landorus being able to U-turn out as well as just threaten the Cornerstone form. I like that a lot. I think Iron Hands, unfortunately not that strong against the Ursaluna on their side. I think Dusclops is fantastic against their Ursaluna though, so I like that. And I think I might leave the Ursaluna could be good. It's just I think it actually doesn't pair that well into their... It's actually pretty good. I think I'm gonna go with the Ursaluna as last. One to show it off too. I think if they set up Trick Room, I'm doing pretty well with that against everything but Torkoal. Torkoal could be an issue though. I think I do have the tools to stop the Gothorita from getting Trick Room up. I would definitely just like, if I knew it's Tera type, I could probably just clear it out with Dark Pulse. If it's not a resisting Tera type, but it could equally well be the Dark type. So it's going to be Goth plus the Cornerstone form, fair enough. They do have Fake Out Pressure active. Honestly, I like U-turn Heat Wave a fair bit. Like U-turn Tera Ghost Heat Wave seems strong to me. I'm not sure if I knock them out is the only issue. I think I'm going to lock into... U-turn seems very good to me, and honestly I could Snarl them, I could Dark Pulse the Goth. I don't think that's correct. I think I'm going to go Heat Wave, just because I feel like a Tera is likely here. And I can switch out, but we're seeing a Tera from me, so if they Tera'd their Ogre Pawn, that would confirm that I'm a faster Chiyu. I'm not sure Heat Wave will actually knock out, because I'm not super invested in special attack. I'm like a weird mix of speed and... Follow me, okay, yeah. So, should have been Dark Pulse, I think. Rock Slide Dark Pulse would have been pretty good. And I have Tera'd out of my... I've actually Tera'd out of my... I think I should actually try and miss this Heat Wave, honestly. But I'm going to go the Dusclops here, try and stop Trick Room from going, like, being able to reverse Trick Room is what I'm aiming for. So we revealed the obvious items on their Pokemon. We go for Heat Wave, we do double connect. I don't think Snarl would have knocked out Goth. Yeah, I don't think so, because it's like pretty close in power to the Heat Wave, but we do bring it to half. So if we go for Heat Wave later in the game, we will knock them out. We can actually switch out of their Shadow Tag with both of my Pokemon, which I do think we're going to try and take advantage of. So Gothorita could be going for Trick Room, which is a problem. First chance I get, I'm probably switching my Chiyu out if they bring in Torkoal. I wonder if they're like manual Psychic terrain next to Armarouge. That'd be kind of interesting. But they're definitely taking their time on the switch in. It is Armarouge. I'm not sure they can actually knock me out. I think I'm going to probably... Huh. It is kind of an issue. Because I'm forced to give them the special attack boost. Then I'm going to go Trick Room plus switch into the Lando. And there's like two plays they can make. They can either try and stop the Trick Room, which I'm fine with, or like they can try and stop my reversive Trick Room by taunting or going for their own Trick Room, which would be a good play. But also if they just like knock out my Lando on switch in, I'm totally fine with that. Ooh, foul play into the Armor Rouge, very interesting. So that is going to give it a boost, probably going to knock out my Lando, but I think I'm fine. I'm definitely getting Trick Room up here if I had to guess. Although maybe Weakness Policy Armor Cannon knocks out the Dusclops. It's going to be close. I'd expect it doesn't, honestly. Yeah, it doesn't, just barely. So now we're in an excellent spot where we can just U-turn the Goth, Pain Split the Armor Rouge, and probably net a knockout. And at, like, worst case, get a switch. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to go... I don't want them to be wide guard, but I do have a knockout. Did they Tera turn 1? They did not. Okay. And Goth could live this, actually. That would be annoying. They could Tera and live my hit if they're not Tera Dark. Yeah, okay. I think I'm fine, though. Even if they get Trick Room up, I do have the Chi-Yu in the back. They're going to protect Goth, which is a good play for sure. They could be netting a double knockout here, unfortunately. I do think I have a knockout with Dark Pulse into their Armor Rouge if they get a double knockout here, though. I actually live with Lando, which is kind of bad. But I think we're in a fine spot, because Trick Room's off the field. They have lowered their defensive stats. I don't think they're weak armor. Let me check if I missed that activation. I kind of zone out whenever there's a bunch of stat boosts going on. Yeah, no. I think they don't have a switch in for Dark Pulse, and they could... Like, if they live U-turn, that's kind of an issue, but not really on some level. If they're wide guard, then I definitely should... If I knew if they were wide guard or not, I would either, like, say if they're not wide guard, then I just Snarl here, probably knock out Armor Rouge unless it Teras. I don't know if I actually make that play. Yeah, knowing their Teras would kind of change how I play this turn, but I think I have a pretty consistent knockout into the Armor Rouge if they did have wide guard, and U-turn I think will knock out the Goth. They didn't go for a Tera. It doesn't. Okay. That's not the worst thing. I don't think Gothitelle learns after you. So I think this is a pretty safe switch into the Ursaluna and a Bloodmoon into their Armor Rouge plus Dark Pulse. But yeah, I did have a knockout into the Goth with a Snarl there. So kind of annoying, but they might be setting up Trick Room for me in this instance, yeah. So I could Hyper Voice, definitely could. I'm just not certain it'll knock out, so I don't want to. I think I'm going to cover the Armor Rouge switch and go for Bloodmoon into that slot. They'd have to be Tera Ghost to beat this, which, given their foul play, isn't the least likely thing, but I kind of doubt it. If they get a hit off here, though, if for some reason they're able to underspeed and get a hit off into me, like maybe Hypnosis into Ursaluna would be kind of bad for me here. But then they would have to hit their Heat Waves, which, you know, probably about a 50-50 turn in terms of like RNG. They're going for a Tera. Maybe they expect me to Earth Power? Okay, don't be Tera Ghost. Oh wait, no. My Mind's Eye. I can always hit Tera Ghost. So they're going for the Psychic one, trying to live in Earth Power. Unfortunately for you, I went for Blood Moon. No shot you're living that, especially at -1 defense. So unless they Hypno here, I do have the Dark Pulse. Notably, I did underspeed the Gotharita. Yep, there is foul play. Doing a good chunk to the Chi-Yu. the rare foul play spotted in the wild where you should be 0 attack IV. I'm not sure if I am. But yeah, they did kind of, this is like a Bane in the Dark Knight situation, where it's like, yeah, they thought that they merely adopted the Trick Room, I was born in it type of situation. But yeah, now we just switch into Orlando, I feel. On likely a high horsepower, they have to read that. Yeah, this is looking pretty good for me. Of the two, Earth Power is better here, just because it can special defense drop them. No Protect makes things a little scary, but Ursaluna-Bloodmoon is actually 2 base points higher than Ursaluna, so if we're both min speed once Trick Room ends, I will be winning the mirror. Ooh, yeah, that's not gonna be so good. So yeah, as you can tell, like, we have a strong Trick Room mode on this team, but the issue is the issue for my opponent is like, I also have a very potent non-Trick Room mode. Yeah, now we just go for Blood Moon. If they protect, then, or if they Facade crit me here, that's totally fine, because I get a U-turn off, and is it totally fine? So yeah, bad crit for sure, but I do think with the burns, I should be able to stall this out. They'll be at -2 attack on their Ursaluna. I'd expect their Headlong Rush to still knock me out, but it's going to be a little bit close. And if they don't, I think Stomping Tantrum plus a burn tick, or 2 burn ticks, one this turn, one the turn they potentially knock out Chi-Yu, should be enough. But I guess in that case, Stomping Tantrum is better, because instead of 1 U-turn and a Stomping Tantrum, I get 2 Stomping Tantrums off if they go after the Chi-Yu, so minor misplay here, but I doubt it ends up mattering. Our strongest move is Stomping Tantrum, so yeah, we just go for that. I really would be surprised if they live the Stomping Tantrum. Oh, that's a game changer. Okay, crit into Rock Slide Flinch is definitely an out. Okay, they don't get it, wow. So yeah, I played that game a little bit sloppy. Although even, I guess I go for Stomping Tantrum just in the chance that they're Rock Slide on the first turn. But yeah, what a game. They almost, with the crit and a flinch, they would have won, but pretty unlikely sequence of events, so. But we could have maybe covered with the Stomping Tantrum a little better. Although maybe Rock Slide then it shouldn't knock us out, but yeah, hard to say. Good game to my opponent, but yeah, just showing the potency of having a fast mode as well as a Trick Room mode. If you play another Trick Room team, you can just shut off the Trick Room and then get after it. It's going to be Torn, Garchomp, Iron Valiant, Iron Hands, Articuno, and Chi-Yu. Very interesting team. I feel like Dusclops is a very safe tail Trick Room for me, honestly. Iron Hand seems quite strong. They do have Fake Out plus Taunt, which is a bit annoying for me. Yeah, what do we do about that? Unfortunately, oh, Pain Split is... I could Pain Split some stuff, huh? I think Lando is pretty good here. Like, Lando Ogerpon is kind of attractive on some level. I think I'm gonna go Dusclops, maybe go for Tera Dark in their face, and yeah, that could be good. Yeah, I got Chi-Yu. I haven't even considered the Chi-Yu either. Yeah, I think I almost have to go for Tera Dark. I'm gonna go Ogerpon actually in case they don't lead Iron Hands and I don't have to commit that resource. Ursaluna, of course, gonna come, and last mon is going to be the I like Lando over Iron Hands. Oh my goodness. That's annoying. My Joy-Con lost connection and I wasn't able to hit enter. Hopefully we get the right mons. That's why we have Dusclops in the first slot, but maybe more consistently, I guess, for situations like that. I'm not sure actually how it works if they just always select your first 4, but we'll see here. If we lead Ursaluna, then that's kind of a rocky start for us, but it's going to be Iron Hands plus, not Iron Hands, Iron Valiant plus Chi-Yu. Okay, totally fine by that. Frisk, so Pharaoh Paladin is Throat Spray. Throat Spray Snarl, I'd expect. Right? Kind of want to play it risky here. Does Iron Valiant learn Trick Room? I'm not sure. Like, their obvious play is just, like, go for Snarl here. But I'm not sure how, like, unless they're in Prison Trick Room, which I guess is possible, I don't really think they can get around Follow Me. Like, obviously they're going to go for Snarl here, but although it's going to do a lot of damage, they're kind of, I think, not supersetting themselves up for success. Like, the Throat Spray will go off. I didn't attack into the Chi-Yu because no point. They're going for double spread though, so I did have an attack. I don't think Snarl will knock out, but it's definitely going to do a big chunk. Yep, big beefy chunk. I think I'm going to Pain Split next turn, get all that back, and yeah. I doubt Ivy Cudgel knocks out their Chi-Yu, unfortunately. The Dazzle did a lot of damage, though. I wonder if they're specs. I could see being specs. I kind of want to get some damage off onto the Chi-Yu, but I also like want to respect. I think this thing has a low defense stat, honestly, so I think I'll go for Horn Leech. No, I don't think I can afford to, because if they take a knockout here, I'm in big trouble. So I'm going to double one of them and hope they don't protect. Vacuum Wave. Okay, cool. Very good play. They're not actually locked into Snarl, so this is bad news. Yeah, that's very bad news for me. We get back up, but I think if they Dark Pulse, they'll knock us out. Flamethrower, okay, so probably no Dark Pulse at all. Yikes, okay. So Iron Hands would have definitely been correct here. Yeah, this is kind of the weakness of the team in Best of One, is like these... It's hard to optimize your brings and your leads if you do not know what they have. So Ursaluna kind of being asked a lot here. And I don't think it's going to be able to do it, but we'll try our best. I feel like they're not wide guard. I think I'm going to go for... Well, I guess it depends on who's in the back. I feel like Iron Hands is a must bring, and Articuno is reasonably likely. But so is Garchomp. I think I'm going to go Stomping Tantrum, Hyper Voice, try and get that knockout. Maybe they bite and Vacuum Wave me. That's pretty much what we're hoping for at this point, is them to give me the boost. They'd have to Gift Wrap it though. Really exceptional turn one from them. I could have just gone for Ivy Cudgel and probably put them in a pretty dicey spot, but didn't go for that. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, really well played. Vacuum Wave, Dazzling Gleam, Wide Guard. So maybe Bloodmoon could have knocked out their Chi-Yu here, but we didn't go for that, and now it's looking pretty bad. Well done. Well done, because now, yeah, Snarl gonna weaken me. Oh my god, that did a lot. That did it. That's a 2-hit KO on Ursaluna. That's crazy damage. Yeah, now they probably just knock me out with Vacuum Wave, so I don't see a way out, unfortunately. But on the chance that we live, we will just go for... You know what? I feel like they don't go for it again. There's like not a lot we can do here. Yeah, they Vacuum Wave. I think that knocks out. Yeah. Yeah, I hadn't even considered Vacuum Wave. That's a really strong answer to the naturally low special defense of the Ursaluna-Bloodmoon form. Like with Beads of Ruin, that's probably getting like 70% on me. So yeah, really well done to my opponent. Just like beat me on lead. Although I could have Bloodmooned and maybe had a comeback there. I honestly doubt the Bloodmoon knocks out the Chi-Yu. So yeah, just exceptionally done from them. Yeah, really, really well done. I could have maybe gone for Fake Out. Like, if I had Iron Hands in the back, I wonder if I could have done anything, but it felt pretty hopeless after they revealed the Vacuum Wave. That's such a cool option on that Pokemon. So that will do it for our battles with Leonard Craft's top 8 at Peoria Regional Trick Room team with the Dusclops with the Brick Break Weakness Policy Ursaluna combo. That combination was definitely very impressive, but also really impressive was the backbone of the team. The Hands Ogerpon really effectively let you get Trick Room up against a lot of different strategies, and then Landorus and Chiyu kind of bring the team together to where you don't have to bring the Trick Room mode if you don't want to. You can kind of just like pivot to a more balanced team styles. If you enjoyed the battles, please subscribe to the channel, and with all that being said, peace y'all.